could be the exact sort of spark that they need to finish off this group.
You could be right about that, but at the same time, like I mentioned before, Endpoint fighting for the all-important Pro Tour points, and for them in particular, like they've been competing at some of the DreamHack events, some of the premiers, the ESEAs, the ESL Premiership, obviously, in the National Championship. So for them, they're not getting access to the level of points that they would have here in the Pro League. So let's see whether they can change that here as we get to the pistol round. They're up on the T-side start here for this first map, their pick of Inferno, and the fast rush is coming in. They've got one player isolated towards that short control. That's Cirque taking backlines, waiting for his teammates to reposition, rotate back for the retake here. He's even going to back off of his own right. Mighty Max will lurk back into the second mid control, see what's coming his way, and now calling in there's two players out the brackets in mid. He is the first to fall.
Just trying to pull the distractions over, and the bomb still hasn't been planted here for the Endpoint side. Cirque now getting a pick, dropping that bomb open for the short position. More players falling over on this T side, and now just with two players left, Crucial and Flames have to try and work together to see what they can do. Oboe now starting to take shots, and Flamesy out in the apartments is down to just 3 more CTs to find. Found one in the round so far, does make it a second, and now a chance for Evil Geniuses to strike with a man advantage.
Got that bomb dropped on the short control, 1 versus 2. Flamesy's got a little bit of damage against his name. 51 HP, 9 points of health towards Tarek, obviously. Stanislaw with 80. He's going to be the main concern, I think, for this guy, and he's going to be that first facer as well. 2 points of health. Flamesy tagged so low. And continuing to tap stand, gets his kill in the end, and Evil Geniuses will take the pistol round.
I don't think Endpoint capitalized on the actual map advantage they had from the app spot, right? Mighty Max is being drawn out from second mid, and he's pulling T-side players with him. He spots 2 players, and the bomb is still in the apartments. Get it out, get it in the site, and play out that post plant. Instead, Evil Geniuses set themselves up for a retake, and they're taking fights before the T's have even crossed over.
Pistol starting things off for the CT side definitely aids them in their campaign here. Endpoint running out with the pistols. Of course, no bomb plant came in. They took so long to make their way out of pit, they couldn't even get that chance. Now here into the second round, they're going to play a bit more of a passive style, not quite as fast as the pistol basis. Not going to go towards apartments control either. Got that one player out there in Surreal. Going to wait back and start to make his way into Boiler. CT's passive though, not going to take an early aggressive face. The most aggressive player is Tarek at this stage, down the bottom of Banana.
Re-smoke through gives a bit of info up onto T-side that there is one player aggressive. Hasn't even been spammed down in the smoke, luckily enough to get out of there alive, even down to 41 points of health. We saw Stan early round coming with him with the util to force in Tarek aggressively, and now with that 5 versus 4, they can just play the passiveness, play the numbers game.
2 Famines out towards Quad here to crossfire alongside Cirque in the long control, seeing those D-Eagles and taking out Surreal. Looking for the second man of Robin, nice and easy. Facing against Crucial, should tag him to 11 HP, so the automatic weapons cleaning house pretty effectively. Flames does come up with 1 good frag, but down he'll find any more at this stage, and even then, chances of them losing the key rifles here, the Famines in particular, will be pretty low here for the CT side. They'll grab everything, get that second on the board. Endpoint now up for an eco. I imagine that Cirque might have to go with the SMG investment. He was the player that went down, but still a little bit low on cash here.
Yeah, Evil Geniuses have got a great chance of trying to see if they can maybe get those SMGs in a little bit more of an aggressive approach, fly down mid, or even just take that banana control again, knowing that you're able to overwhelm that force by without allowing Endpoint to get a bomb plant in either round means that Muddy's certainly going to be in a difficult situation. A 2-0 start coming through for the EG side. Endpoint just taking this round as a bit of a throwaway eco.
Nades back into the banana position, expecting the T-Rush to come through. Of course, those are the anti-rush nades and can do some pretty decent damage. Eventually, they will get their damage in as Mighty Max does come up with a kill. Stanislaw stays behind the T-side line, though, gets himself 2 frags and sees the next player coming out here. Did damage towards Crucial. I think he heard those tags. Flames are going to go down. Stanislaw makes it a triple, but Mighty Max has snuck past the CT side, getting a bomb plant on this one for a full eco. That's actually pretty respectable for Endpoint. It means the buy will get bolted into round 4, and Evil Geniuses will have a 3-0.
Not bad at all. That must have been some really awkward timing, because we saw that Oboe was actually the one to sort of wrap in and help Stanislaw out towards Banana, but Mighty Max must have just been able to sneak around him through that smoke, get that bomb plan over towards the B site, allow a little bit of extra money to come in, get that AWP up for Crucial. An AWP upgrade coming through from Cirque early on too.
3-0 to the start. AKs and AWPs, Endpoints having all of the main weapons here for the T side line. A couple of players yet to frag, but Evil Geniuses have been doing a great job at just taking away all sorts of control, disallowing them to get those trades, disallowing them to get those frags here. Damage starting to stand, actually, in the early phase. Crucial's going to take down Breezy. I believe there might have been a collateral tag from him. From that mid-control, the first kill is found. Evil Genius is forced to go back passive now.
Quite a fair bit of aggression coming through from EG out from brackets just to try and get those nades down towards the bottom of mid position. And in fact, it's just the AWP from the T side that capitalizes on the early kill. Look at this gamble rotation too from the City side. They are relying everything over on A. They have rotated everyone off of this B side and now looking to aggress him from brackets by the looks of it.
Meanwhile, Endpoint go up the banana control, seeing no resistance from the CT side. The utility might give up the ghost on what's going on here, depending on how much they want to put down and how much information they want to give away. The flashes continue to come in as that lurker is Surreal continues to gain little information from these CT sides. The smoke's down on long, flashing over so he can try and make his way into that mid control. But will he see the majority of the CT side? If they can find that info that they can just walk straight into that B side, they're actually going to put incendiaries up and just continue drawing attention away from the B players. The execution is coming in, and well, there's nothing that EG can do to deny it here.
They can push down mid and just try and hope to retake this B site, but you're in a position here where there's so much money that you might even just think about just wanting to go for the save, making sure that even though you've got the cash behind you, it's not worth going in for that retake when no one is even on a position where they're starting to work their way over from the bottom of Banana or out from CT spawn. That was a big risk from EG, and for Endpoint, you've got to give them credit. That was a really decent read from Mighty Max. They left that lurker from Surreal out from brackets just to try and sell a little bit of a hold, use some of that utility to try and slow down the rotates if they'd ended up coming through, and it just didn't happen.
As you mentioned earlier in the round, a gamble stacked for Evil Geniuses, and in this case, the gamble did not pay off. And all five look to stay alive for the Endpoint side, so the economy can bolster. Of course, Evil Geniuses have plenty of cash in the bank. Kind of surprised they didn't go for the retake, given the fact that they have downgrade rifles and an SMG. Could have gone for it without losing much in terms of, you know, the buyback. Imagine Breeze is just going to get back on the M4 here, and everybody are going to stick with their main weapons so they can have a second buy into round 6. So, some options in that respect, but EG losing that first to the Endpoint side, thanks to passiveness alone. Can they continue to bait them into that CT, that A-side defense? Good kill from Crucial. Might be able to start the round off once again. He's going in with the AWP v AWP battle down that mid position, seeing the flashbangs, having his head ducked down. And no aggressive face this time from the CT side. They're just pushing up Banana.
A lot of anti-rush nades coming through from EG, actually bringing a triple stack over towards that broken wall position, but looks like they maybe want to try and take it a little bit later into the round. Now with the flash over the top, it allows Stanislaw with that UMP to get right down towards the logs. Is a little bit of gap on that left-hand side, and they can now try and force him out with a molly.
Molly and nade back to his position, catching him at the edge of the smoke. Mighty Max gets that kill. Tarek bursting through on the Fama. Oh, flick to the head looks really good from Max himself. And now it's a 5 versus 3. Rotations inbound. Cirque at the CT cross already. The smoke will go down to block him off, and the flashbang will be able to follow suit just for good measure. They can cross get this bomb plant in and probably secure the round from here, I'd say.
This got to be another save, and Surreal could be that one player just to try and cut off rotations. Cirque just giving a bit of a warning shot out towards CT, trying to see if he can get a little bit lucky, but he's already out of there. Jeez, those entries from Mighty Max, but it came down to some missed utility over from that CT side. We saw as soon as there was a gap in that bottom of Banana smoke, Max realized that was his opportunity to go.
Just beautiful shooting in general. Evil Genius is not ready for the amount of contention Endpoint we're going to have there in the Banana control. They won't be sweating this round loss too much. Again, they've only just lost a Fama and a UMP, so the M4 and the AWP staying in. There's plenty of cash to reinvest in Stan and Tarek. They will get one kill back on Robin, so they can also find an AK here as well. So really, hunting for Obo. Tap and burst through on the man, and actually that allows Breezy to get a secondary kill. So Endpoint not going to get away scot-free. A couple of casualties being found in the post-round. But a second goes to their board, and that's the bottom line.
No, not bad at all coming out for Evil Geniuses. Unfortunately for them, they're not able to pick up either one of those AKs, so still rocking that a single from RM4 and the AWP on the back of Cirque. But Buy comes back in, and for Evil Geniuses, for a team that have lost 2 rounds in a row, they've still got so much money behind them. Now with the loss bonus starting to get up there at 2,400, they are really trying to set themselves a very solid bank and a foundation going forward into these future rounds. But for Endpoint, Jay, so could be the same for them.
So they're being thrown up, the nades, even the T side this time work wonders, but not wonders enough. Max and Flames go down to the Flames and the Famous as well for a 2-for-1 trade straight up. I mean, the first kill looks so promising as well from Mighty Max, catching Tarek completely blind. Obo down to 9 HP. 4 versus 3, however, the CTs are in control. Endpoint are forced to play passive.
Yeah, that was nicely done from EG to be able to get those opening kills onto Flamesy and Mighty Max. And it seems like for both teams in the early round, they are fighting for Banana. It never gets that idea that EG just fall back and don't even put anti-rush nades down. They try and peek with it too. End up going back over towards the B side, and Endpoint are going to start to regroup. Go for that B side, exit out towards B. A minute left on the clock. They've got to be able to deal with the 2 players here, though.
Under a minute for the clock and the execution. Robin's going to set up that Molotov into the second box boost. Smoke down at Coffins and smoke on towards the CT cross. And also a third smoke can also be used here by the T side to extinguish the flames they just put up there. And the nade on Obo will finally shut him out. 3 versus 3. Bomb plant can't be secured just yet. That flashbang for Stanislav's peak actually could be pretty valuable, but no, Surreal reads it. Gets it to a 3 versus 2 instead. Bomb plant can be secured. Robin deals with Breezy on the backstab. And now Cirque with the AWP back at CT spawn. Got to save his weapon. Got to concede 3 to the Endpoint side.
Yeah, that was very calmly taken over from the B side from Endpoint. They're in a man disadvantage scenario. Great nade goes down towards CT, exactly where Obo's playing from. And Stan realizes with his teammate of Obo falling, I've got to play behind these smokes. I'll wait for a rotation, wait for that flash to come over. He's hoping to just get that one-on-one trade, deny that bomb, start making a lot of chaos on the site, but it just doesn't quite come through. Robin's then holding the banana position for the top of Broken Wall, and Cirque's left just save onto the AWP once again. A lot of saving coming through from Evil Geniuses, and for Endpoint, they're playing a very, very strong T side. That was a great recovery from them.
Three all to the board. Endpoint happy to take their current standing right here. A little bit more of that pistol on the conversion rounds that they saw from the Evil Geniuses side. Of course, their early start is still going to carry forward with them. I don't think they've broken the economy yet here for the Endpoint side. Like, they've had a serious issue with dealing with the CT's money line. And part of it is down to this confidence that they found. I would have thought that this round here from Max could have broken it, but the fact that they went for that such a conservative save callings from the CT side has definitely aided them in the long term so far.
Yeah, for Endpoint, it's just all about getting results, all about just trying to start their map pick off of an Inferno on a bit of a positive note, and well, they are at least finding a little bit of a bounce back. There we are, back in, and no Destray.
No casualties found, and it was for passive default. Same default that we saw from EG earlier on in this half when Endpoint were happy just to press on and they go towards that mid control. This time Banana presence, and Tarek was going to get flashed out position forward. You could see they were setting up a flash around the corner there instead of nade to do damage. Killing off a chicken, doing damage to Mighty Max. So a little bit of success, but nothing significant here in the first minute.
Yeah, they've rotated the AWP off from the Speedway angle for Cirque, bring him over towards B to have a triple stack, and it looks like they want to try and aggress, retake this banana control. Flash should come over the top from Tarek, get both the AWP and Stan involved. Flames is going to be the first one to fall, and no T-side player wants to keep swinging, or do they? Robin's going to swing out in the open and take a solo duel to take it back to a 4-on-4.
Fights onto Cirque's position as well, sprays through as Tarek tries to cross back. Gonna get that boost set up towards Flower Pot, and meanwhile the bomb makes its way back into A, or at least towards brackets for the moment. 30 seconds left, though. They've got to act relatively quickly here. Endpoint have 2 players to deal with, one on site and one at pit. And Breezy smoking off his position, gonna look for the angle. Obo drops that bomb, however. 3 standing here for the C side, 2 now as Breezy gets his frag in. Obo is known, so is Breezy, but at the edge of the smoke and at the edge of the site, they find themselves 2 kills apiece on 19 and 4 HP. They stay alive for a 4th for EG.
Jeez, what a crossfire that is set between both Obo and Breezy out towards Pit in the cubby corner on the side. They're able just to demolish the T side. No trade start coming back and forth for the Endpoint side. They had a decent read on it of at least trying to sell a bit of a B fake, go back over towards brackets and try and see if they can isolate Breezy by putting a smoke down in towards that pit position and mollying him out, but it doesn't quite work out the way they would have liked. And for EG, they take back the lead now in the first half.
And Endpoint struggling to maintain control of things. They have had a couple of hit and miss rounds over the course of their season so far, so not too shocking, all things considered, but they're going to try and find a way to regain that position, regain that 4-4, that even standing. Obo and Tarek are tagged early, so that's the start coming in for them. Tarek in particular weak into their B site, but with Stanislaw pushed up so far, they're just going to stack 4 players into the A play, leave the contact from the M4A1S. And Endpoint might be playing right into EG's hands here. They've got a heavy amount of control towards apps and mid.
EG are putting so much util down as anti-rush nades at the beginning of the rounds that you get to the moment where we're at a minute marker and all that's left is a couple of smokes and just some flashes. AWP holding the long angle. Crucial finds the opening man advantage, hoping for another swing to come through, but it's all a ruse. They're now starting to take Banana, and there's only one player there, a Stan.
And he's backed off even more passive than he was before. He started off all the way top of Banana, now back behind Broken Wall, and even past the CT cross, they can smoke him off and just keep him at bay from both entryways to the site. They might have heard some footsteps though. Rotation called in from Tarek, but he's tagged up. Smoke's going down, counter flash in to allow Stanislaw to peek. That might be the aggressive play. Or flash to try and stop them from making their way forward, actually get the boost in play instead. Another flashbang coming in. Flames can cross, however. Damage done towards Robin and Stan. Tarek's going to get red and dealt with by the Swedes. So 5 versus 3. Force forward to Stanislaw, though. Gets one. Oh, that transfer to the head of Robin was real good as well. And now it's 10 seconds left. They're going to force the bomb plant. Starts getting his kill in. And Breezy, he's just going to wait and bait and see 2 players spray on towards Crucial. So much damage being done. And Flames is just going to sneak in the bomb plant. Sneak in the kill. Nearly disaster for Endpoint, but they just hold it together.
That was a tight one out for Endpoint. Only one defender out of the B side. Tarek ends up rotating over, gets up towards the flower pots. It looks like the T side are completely evading it and not checking out that position. A bit of spam comes through, and then chaos starts coming in. Cirque gets a kill with the AWP. Bomb gets dropped. Time's relatively low. Breezy gets so close to being able to capitalize on that kill through the smoke onto Crucial, but between the two of them, they just don't go down on the T side, and we've got another tied up scoreline. And finally, Economy, it's been reset from EG.
Down on Deagles, no Kevlar. Bit of utility that they can work with, actually a fair amount of it. But as you mentioned, for all intents, this is an eco round, and for Endpoint could be their first lead above the EG side here in this matchup. Max and Flames taking damage on the HGs past the broken wall here at the Banana Control. Stanislaw on the first boxes, waiting with his USP in tow, the weakened weapon of the CT defensive, and they're just going to rush straight in against him. Tags up coming through from the upgrade pistols. Flames are going to take down one. Take down Mighty Max as well. What are you doing? That's your teammate. Ends up with a triple, double up technically. And finally, his official triple against Cirque. So all's well that ends well, but an unnecessary casualty here for Endpoint.
Max probably looks at that and goes, yeah, he gets a triple, so it's all right. I'll take it. I'll take it. But nice anti-eco frags coming through from the Endpoint side, just committing out towards the B side X here. And one thing I certainly am noticing out on Inferno on the T side is how much emphasis we're seeing in terms of B side X's in late defaults from Endpoint. Seems like they're gathering a lot more success over towards B than out towards the A side. Nice little shy in there for Obo. Ooh, can I get any more from this?
They could. Breezy seeing where Severely. It's got a nade in on Robin as well. If you put that down there towards Banana. Obo does catch another good frag, though. He's looking for more. Obviously, he's got little to sacrifice. Robin's got to run away and escape the bomb blast and all. Obo couldn't grab a rifle, unfortunately. He's just left with his Deagle. And yeah, again, once again, we're looking at, an okay situation when it comes to the ecos. Endpoint got their bomb plant in with no investment. Evil Genius has got 3 casualties with it. And the buy coming in should look confident from them. Up in on Cirque and M4s off everybody else. So, yeah, 100% confidence here from the CTs.
And when you think Endpoint have taken the B site on a 4 versus 2, and you've got Obo out towards Deep CT and Breezy at the bottom of Banana, that's a hell of a lot of damage to continue to go through towards the T side, which could affect them in some of the later rounds. And Crucial with this AWP, the one thing he hasn't had the opportunity in the last few rounds is anyone peeking up from this mid control. EG taking a little bit more of a passive approach towards Banana this time, but Cirque wants to repeat the angle.
And get given a chance on Endpoint side GL, but Max flashing his way forward. A smoke comes back down. A small gap to that left-hand side could allow a chance that they want to re-aggress it, but I don't think that Evil Geniuses are happy to do that. They've gone pretty passive on most of their defaults here, so it doesn't surprise me they're now just back up to the crossfire on long. One player at short, watching out from the apartment's face. And they will just wait and bait for Endpoint, make sure that they come to them and they can lock them out of the A site.
The Endpoint haven't even taken Banana control this time around, which is something that we haven't really seen from them. A little bit unorthodox in their approach over the last couple of rounds. A Cirque with a teammate with a bit of a bait and switch. AWP could be locking down this bracket's position when there's a bit of a swing that could come through from Obo as well.
And there's the M4 kill on him. Takes Mighty Max, not trying to look for Surreal as well, but the trade is pretty good for him. Tag to 46 though, could be a problem with the further faces. 2 players on the A site, a third man is just about to join the fray here from the Archers. They won't be aware of this Endpoint. Gonna take this one slowly again. Run the clock down to the last 30 seconds before the hit can even come through. They're still putting that bomb into apps now.
There's like no util here. Molly and a smoke is all that they've got. No flashes for this apps pop. This is gonna be a tough exie.
And the AWP is ready to receive them. Cirque's not going to get off angle, misses that shot though. And now the T-side come pouring out. Shot still not connecting, has got a duck behind the boxes. Reface seeing 2, maybe 3. Breezy reveals the position as Cirque gets his kill. Crucial turns a wallback shot on towards the AWP, but 10 seconds. They've got to get Breezy to fall, and indeed they will. The Incendiary almost locked Crucial out of sight, but he just escapes to the back. Will plant to the back corner. 2 versus 2 on the retake here. And Tarek and Stanislaw have no kits for this. They're going to be pressed for time.
Oh, things look good here for Endpoint. No kit up for the CT side, and Crucial is taking an aggressive duel. Wants to try and pick off a player out for Moto. The timing is everything. He turns away, and Flamesy now comes up from Graveyard. Gets that first, looking for the second, but Tarek's going to be able to clutch it for the CT side. Get that retake in, and tie us up once again.
Oh man, that couldn't have gotten worse for Crucial. The fact he turned away just as the CTs were peeking, man. If Flamesy had popped his head up as well, he might have been able to call that info and kept Crucial's angle just on that long face. But even then, that would have risked his life. But it might have worked out better for them, I'd say, because they would have the info on both the CT players. Crucial can lock it out from there. Couple of mistakes, couple of ways you could have played that differently. A difficult situation, definitely would have favored Endpoint in that one, but have bottled it. 5-5 now. EG once again back up to the buy-up. Limited by UMP and a FAMAS, but the MAC-10 will also come in for Endpoint with no AWP, so it's a pretty even standing on the buy-up, and Obo's going to respond to that with aggression. Tarek will sponge the damage, but the first kill comes in easy.
But nice and confident coming out from Obo. Oh, getting close towards that secondary kill. It's damage onto Crucial, and may even be on for a little bit more. What's Flamesy doing? He's pushing straight through the banana smoke with a single flashbang. No assistance from his teammate. That was a risky play, and it doesn't pay off. Obo gets another pick. What's happening in this round?
Obo just got 3. 3 on his lonesome almost. Tarek, yeah, was playing behind him, but my God, this guy, 13 kills deep in this matchup. And being a major thorn in the side of Endpoint. 2 players left standing, bomb's been dropped, Obo knows it. And Surreal's got to fall back and rejoin Robin as they try and press onto the B site. Their best call, because Tarek's damaged up. He's the only player that's holding this site.
Tarek can even just play this retake, knowing that he doesn't need to fight to get this bomb plan in. Starting to hear these footsteps. Rotates are coming in relatively slowly, but 40 seconds left on the clock. They've now brought the AWP over.
Got to check coffins, and indeed Robin takes him down. So, plant can be secured. 3 versus 2 for EG. They're going to flash their way in very early, blind off the likes of Surreal. AWP is circling in, the UMP is still blinded by that smoke. They've still got that cross-locked. Robin swinging at the right moment. Will he catch Breezy? Yes, he will. That's a triple up for him. Can respond to Obo as Robin and Surreal try and hold the defensive. The Surreal spray actually assists on the Stanislaw. Follow-up HE will come through from the back lines, and they will be able to secure that 6th Endpoint. Bit of an awkward defensive held together there, but it does come through true.
Geez, some of these rounds have just been so back and forth when it comes to momentum, and we're now seeing the CTs being wrecked of the economy once again. They're on 2,400 loss bonus. They don't have enough money to go in for a buy investment, so it's going to have to be a relatively light eco. What a post-plant coming out from Endpoint. The way in which that even before that bomb gets planted, they check out towards coffins, the nades coming through, the damage out from Surreal towards second oranges. That was well played from the T side, and Endpoint are finding a lot of success in these post-plants.
Instant reset as well against EG, so just the pistols out. Deagle on Obo being the best weapon in the show. The rifle's happy to tap through, play the default. It's a bit of an apartment stack that actually could have a couple of kills ahead of it. Surreal makes it a 2K, but now knows he's got to fall back. He doesn't want to concede that secondary AK. Might have to let Mighty Max swing back and try to see if he can recover it for his team. Surreal might even look to try and get rid of it here. The CTs are pressed up very far forward, though. The bomb plant can be secured here, but again, it's a case of trying to extend out towards Bridge, get that AK, isolate Surreal, take him down, and just secure 2 rifles for a pretty decent, successful eco.
Yeah, they've seen Surreal, so there's a chance that it could be double AKs actually for the CT side. Good shot out from Obo, and they've already got a player of Stanislaw who's pressed very far up. Cirque playing a little bit of an off angle out from mid, does decent damage onto Crucial, and for Endpoint, they can't really go hunting down to the CTs because they can't afford to lose anymore.
Max are going to try to sacrifice that MAC-10. Eagle turned away from him. He still expects Obo to be out there, and in the end, the kills come through for Stan and Obo, respectively. Now one player left in flames, and they have lost a lot here on the T side. If there's one thing I'll give them credit for, obviously you mentioned they're getting a couple of decent rounds in on this one, but to lose as much as they have to these pistol plays, like it wasn't even like it was a decoy, you know? If they had hand cannons, I can at least give it a little bit of credit, but it was USPs for the majority of players. Only Obo had the deagle. He continues to put up numbers. 15 kills, the highest player in server by a country mile here for EG.
He's having a good game, isn't he, the youngster? Yeah. Showing up just when it counts, and it's one way to sort of end off all the Group D is get one of your newest players to just be able to have an absolute banger of a series, an absolute banger of a map, and well, he's being that guy so far. EG looking to go quite aggressive with that AWP out from Cirque, maybe looking to try and see if he can go in for a bit of a mid-peak. We saw a couple of duels early on between Cirque and Crucial, but we haven't seen one for a while now.
Nades on Stanislaw. Taking damage early. Robin sprayed through the smoke. Is going to take a lot more and actually past the wall in that bedroom area. Kill not quite found, but he's 6 points away, like a single bullet from going down. Endpoint, not the best default setting for them at the moment, especially as even more blind shots coming from the CT side. They are doing work here without taking contact.
There's a lot of spam damage coming through onto this Endpoint side, and even for Cirque, blinded off angle, has to reposition back towards the side, but this looks like it could be a bit of a wraparound in from Speedway out from CT Spawn. You've got 3 players in from brackets, but 2 players with the bomb in Banana.
Obo finally catches off Robin, opens up the round here, looking on a Crucial as well. Bursts through, does its damage. Surreal also pressing alongside Crucial. Flashbang on Surreal is going to be better to try and assist Crucial on the face. Instead, he flashes around the corner, gets that 1 kill in. Stanislaw still there, though. Surreal might be aware of it. Utility still in hand. And back turn towards the Facer. So 2-for-1 trade for the Evil Geniuses. And now they make their way up to the B side. Tarek is boosted up to the flower pot. Sees Flames for Flames and wins out the trade. Wins out the kill, in fact. 3 versus 3. Bomb plant can be secured. Nade on Max could do some damage towards him, but he'll get away alive, but very heavily hurt.
And no kit and no utility here for the City side. This is going to be a dry retake coming in from them. And for Endpoint, they're playing positions in which, if there were incendiaries, they could be forced out to the open. But without it, it does give the offer up towards the T side. And Mighty Max takes 2 joules out towards that Coffer's position, meaning Cirque's the last one left. Flamesy peeking back out for Nubox, and Endpoint winning another post plant. Evil Geniuses, they had that 1 retake in that clutch from Terra coming out from Moto in that 2 versus 2. But it always seems like if Endpoint have got the post plant, they're winning the round. A tactical pause will get called in for Evil Geniuses to figure out where they're able to shut this whole situation down, because it feels like it's all the post plants which are where Endpoint are winning. But when they start to lose early advantages, when they get killed off in like the first minute or so, or when they try to take aggressive faces and lose them, that's where the rounds fall apart for the T side. That might have to be where the focus shifts here from EG, or whether they try and clean up their retake clean up their retake act. 30 seconds to discuss that here, and where they go, set to be seen. A couple of players performing particularly well from EG, so there's no reason why they can't be able to win those fights. Obo and Stan in particular. And Flames is the highest fragging player for the Endpoint side, not even matching Obo's chances, just tying up with Stanislaw. So definitely, again, the better elements are with the EG side. Yeah, how do those elements come to light, though? How do those elements actually convert rounds is the big question, because even though they've got 5 on the CT, 3 of which came from the opening pistol round start, and the anti-eco and the conversion. So from there, when you think about the actual rifle investments, they've certainly been on the weaker side of it. I'm trying to see if they could just do some further damage on the ecos. One thing we do know about EG is that whenever they've got upgraded pistols, whenever the economy lies in this sort of a position, they seem to always be able to not only pick up T-side weapons, but limit Endpoint quite significantly with numbers. Molotovs and smokes. Good counteraction there from the 1 CT player, and great timing as well from Stanislaw. Isn't facing aggressive, so hasn't really got much information to play off of here. And oh, that resistance is going to force the T-side players to make their way into the A side. The 4-man stack is in. Once again, that contact player that Eagle Stan ready to rotate in as appropriate. Nades back. Damage will be done. This could actually be winnable here for the Evil Geniuses side.
Cirque sprayed up first, doing damage, but Robin and Max come up with the kills, and now the CT's forced to fall back. Breezy's still aggressive towards short, though, seeing utility coming in. Takes Crucial, but can't line a second shot up on Mighty Max. Now Obo will be left alone here, surrounded by T-side players as they overwhelm the A side.
EG looking to try and see if they can sort of pincer in towards that brackets area, and while they did have some pretty good duels and crossfires, they only get away with that single kill onto Crucial. A little bit of damage coming through onto both Flamesy and Robin, and for Stan, might just be best to hold on to the little bit of Kevlar and the Deagle that he's got. I get that buy together going into the last round, round 15, to end out the half, and for Endpoint, this has been very successful. They'll be very happy on their map pick. I think we both kind of had some concerns going into Inferno, knowing that it's a strong map for both of these sides. But for Endpoint, especially on T side, have proven to themselves, well, this is why we've picked it.
Again, we had some concerns about going into Inferno in this map, but definitely the Brits are proving us wrong here. Don't know if you can call them a British team at this stage, but I digress. Either way, a 9th for the board of Endpoint. And EG, well, they might have to rest a lot on that second half here. I mean, I know that their T side is definitely more competent than their CT side. For Endpoint, it's a little bit more balanced. Maybe a slight bias to the T side, ever so much. But maybe EG's best days are still ahead of them. But right now, obviously, with that staring down the barrel of a 10-5 scoreline, that Eco was coming in that previous round. The rifles can be fully afforded here for 15.
Bringing double AWPs in for Evil Geniuses, the first time we've ever seen that on the City side. Money's going to be strong enough to allow Tarek to be able to bring that second AWP over towards a banana position. Run boost out from mid from Cirque. Didn't quite see anyone out from that mid control, but it's Mighty Max going aggressive in towards second mid that Cirque might want his eyes on.
Van taking quite a lot of damage to that Molotov up towards the top of banana position. If you waited for an extra few seconds, he probably could have gotten away scot-free. Same with Tarek back here. He evades the majority of that incendiary, though, so smokes down towards the brackets control. Robin going to flash his way in towards short position. Mighty Max also there, swinging back, seeing Breezy, taking that damage. Doesn't quite force out a kill, though. No side able to strike, just map control and damage being gained.
Yeah, Endpoint, it almost felt like that they were going to go in for a real quick brackets exit into A. There were smokes, there were flashes, there were so many players blind, and then they start to slow it down. Evil Geniuses pretty much rotate everyone out towards the A side. They leave the AWP of Tarek over towards that new box position, and no one's really in rotating positions either for assistance to come through over towards the B side.
Time is short. Surreal is setting up a play into the apartment's face. Utility comes in simultaneously, so they can't bait in a rotation from Stanislaw. It's going to be him and Tarek. The AWP in particular holding the backline is going to be the major concern, I think, for the T-side forces. Are they going to flash in? No, they don't. They're going to peek blind with Breezy following up a kill on Surreal. So the lurker's been taken out. A 5 versus 3. Tarek looking up to the first box. Does see his man. Does not take him down. Obo's there to support it. And Tarek deals with a double. Not quite the triple. That's Stanislaw that falls to deal with the last. So a 6th round is gained by the Evil Geniuses side. The Endpoint maintain their control on the first half of our first map of Inferno. Well, a great effort posted up by Endpoint has gotten them the advantage. 9-6 going into their CT side, and Evil Genius's T side is up to play for. Again, statistically, their favorite half is the T side, so let's see whether they can turn the situation around and stop the schooling that Endpoint have given them so far in this map up. Utility on Stan and Tarek, so they've got a decent idea of what they want to go for the execution. Robin's seen a lot of T side presence out there at the apartment space, so him and his teammates are going to fall right back.
They've still left the bomb very, very passive out towards the T-steps. Evil Geniuses trying to sell them on a bit of a play out towards the apartments. They've still got a fair bit of util between both Stanislaw and from Tarek, and they're just trying to drive these rotations away, and they've done a pretty good job of it. There's only one defender out towards B. Now make it two with Mighty Max coming back in.
Flames and Mighty Max. Here on the defensive, smokes down, swing back at the USP, sees at least 2, maybe 3. And information called in to call enough the rotations here, the CT side. Breezy's going to take him down though, so Mighty Max standing by at the Coppins area, sees where Cirque is at. Cirque will deal with him. There's a 5 versus 3 being gained. The kit is not in play for any of the CT falls, and as Surreal falls, it will be best for Robin and Crucial just to fall back and hold on to their Kevlar above all else. Evil Genius is a very unorthodox pistol round, but the execution being relatively unoffended, it works well for them.
It was a nice little gimmick, I suppose, right? Oh, God, I thought there was a bit of a TK that came in there, but no. Obo's going to be the last one to be able to find 3 to finish off the pistol round, and that's only going to help his confidence grow even further, knowing how much of a damage dealer he was in that first half, now transitioning over towards the second, and it just came down to how quickly those entries come out. Cross smokes down towards that B side, wrap in from construction, and it seemed like Endpoint just never found themselves comfortable at all.
It doesn't help the fact they got a lot of information into that second mid control, so could have assumed that the rush was coming through towards that B site, and they were well prepared for it, but obviously the ROG being swiped out from underneath their feet. Now let's upgrade pistols in on this one. Decent deagles and HE damage, so Stanislaw on 63 HP. And 4 players drawn in towards the B site. Evil Genius has been doing a great job of baiting Endpoint into certain parts of the map. The last round it was A site with the 3 players, and now 3 players over on the B play, just stinging out the A defensive as they're going to look to go do the A hit.
I'm very surprised that Endpoint are making this kind of a strat come through. Flash out towards the apartment's position is even going to start to not really drive anything away. Is there going to be another rotation? They're pretty much just leaving this A site completely.
Crucial's going to realize what a big mistake that is, but at the same time, it might be a better idea to hold on to the Kevlar, and Obo just takes his head clean off. The guillotine over there towards the A-long position. Surreal does catch a gap in that smoke, though. And frag back on Obo, 4 versus 4. Resmoke comes in for the T side, but still a wasted piece of utility that does cost them a little bit of expense. An SMG kill coming in for Surreal as well, gets a little bit of cash back. Not a lot here for the CT side. 4-on-4 situation without kits. It's not really likely they'll go for the retake, and you can see with Mighty Max being back there on the B side, he's calling, no guys, save it for the next one. We're going to have a full eco going into our 8-9 scoreline. So it's better just to hold on to what we have.
Certainly going back, I think, over this demo, EG are going to notice that they have been missing a fair bit of their smokes and util. We saw it in the first half down towards the bottom of Banana, some gaps over towards that right-hand side, and we saw it again almost being punished right out from Library. There was a little bit of a gap for Surreal to work with, could have potentially been on for 2, and if Cirque would have fallen, that could have been the bomb to drop, and we could have had a very, very different circumstance. But with Endpoint in the position that they were in, leaving the A side, having that one player of Crucial out from Arch pretty much meant that for them, they've got to rely on him to do damage, otherwise they're just saving, and that was the outcome.
Well, Endpoint at least getting themselves a decent basis here, so let's see what they can do in the eco before the rifles. Again, weapons being saved, so they've got some cash to work with. They have themselves a shotgun and an SMG to back up the Deagles, of course, that are in play for most players. Where Crucial wants to play this one, I believe he's going into the apartments area, or towards the short control, it seems to be on the mini-map. A lot of utility down from the 2 players there on the B side, though. Tarek and Stan in particular taking HEs to the face. Triple Nays back at the T side should gain some information as to what's going on here towards Banana. They'll have info that there are 3 players at least, and Flamesy opens up the round with a great deagle shot.
They need a couple more of those on for Endpoint, and City side peeking right back in, but Breezy's just ready for that angle out towards the Coffin's position. Resmoke goes down. That's going to buy Mighty Max a little bit more time, but EG might just capitalize and push straight through it.
Oh, Deagle of Robin taking damage. Eventually Gonna get taken down by Tarek. Backup is being called in though. What's Mighty Max gonna be able to do? Misses shots apparently. Surreal will come up with one good trade back through the smoke on Tarek. He's tagged up low, so that's gonna be an easy frag. But it's now the shotgun and the SMG, the only two upgraded from the pistol players, and well, they're not gonna do much it seems. Surreal dropped into the Coffin's control. Crucial left alone with the Mag 7 now, and Evil Geniuses have come alive here on T-side. He's going to try force forward again. He's going to get some rifles back in the next round, so any losses from the Endpoint side will be negligible. Oboe being heard back here at the CT cross. Crucial is just not going to tempt face. Smoke's about to clear. It's going to catch Cirque at least, and catch Oboe as well. Plenty of cash being gained. Almost got Breezy as well. 23 HP, should have gone down to that Mag 7. I don't think he would have had time for the defuse though. 9 to 9 to the board, Evil Geniuses. Pistol and conversions. And now come the rifles for Endpoint.
And that's going to help make the decision so much more possible for Crucial to go, right, yeah, I will get an AWP, actually. That extra little bit of money coming through from the shotgun just allows that kill bonus to come through. Get that AWP, a little bit of armor, and some utility to follow M4s out. For everybody else, Robin just going to be stuck on that FAMAS for just a little bit longer. But for EGJ, we've seen how many times over the course of this first map we've had tied up scorelines. Again, we go 9 to 9. Aggression coming through from Cirque, looking to entry with the AWP.
Robin's going to pay the price for it. 10 points of health. That Molotov almost burning him. The nades coming through to single digits. He'll go, but so will Tarek. And with Oboe and Cirque also tanking nades as well. That's going to be a major HP advantage for Endpoint. Several players that they can pick up as the round goes on. He's going to reflash their way into Banana as the CTs have vacated it entirely.
Yeah, they're starting to swap players over now. We're seeing Robin go back over towards the A side, being that lower defender, and even Crucial's going somewhat aggressive in front of that long smoke. Stanislaw just not expecting at all, and now that's going to drive the T side into taking this banana control, looking to set themselves up for a B side XE.
Heavy damage being sustained though by Evil Geniuses. They're on definitive back foot into this XE. Utility at the ready for Flamesy. He's got the smoke set, and from the crossfire position, look for the main entrance. He's got his eyes on. Flashbang will come through. Resmoke comes down as the utility pours out. He's going to get flashed in. He's going to see at least two. He lined them up. Gets his triple in all. Up against Cirque, seeing him at the edge of the smoke. The AWP forced to fall back. And Flames is called in for backup as well as surrounding the banana presence. And he on his lonesome will hold down the defense for what should be 10 for Endpoints.
Oh, that's a big play. That is a monstrous play coming through from Flamesy, and he takes the initiative by himself to push through, work in behind that resmoke towards the top of Banana, and now Cirque is the last one to try and see if he can hold on to that AWP. That's not going to happen. They can run double AWPs on the city side if they like. It looks like Robin wants to end up not going for that kind of a moment. Flamesy, that secondary kill, I don't even think he saw him.
No, he didn't. He just flicked back, saw that one player, and he got a player behind him first. Flamesy has had so many impact rounds. The only player positive as well for the Endpoint side at the moment. 14 to 11 on his kill-death ratio. Definitely lagging behind the rest of the Evil Geniuses camp, but even so for Endpoint, it's kept them in the game and kept them in the lead. We're down to another force buy for the T side. So that Mag 7 damage being done by Crucial in the conversion in the eco, it has run its course. It has come to affect an EG as a result. Oh, they're getting sprayed through smokes. I think Surreal just caught the pixel of the gun barrel and can take Tarek down for it. But Oboe with an even better response here on the Deagle play up against Crucial. They'll tag him up and take him down. Stanislaw does fall meanwhile towards the long control. So it's a 3v3 scenario. But Evil Geniuses have gained the A site. They've grabbed an AWP as well. Oboe almost doing damage with it, but he just escapes the eye of Mighty Max. Cirque turns on towards Flamesy. Oboe deals with Max himself. And this force buy is going to work for EG.
Robin can't go for this, surely. Just hold on to that AK and save. Oboe might even ping straight back out. Another 4K. A huge round out for Oboe. And EG is saying, yeah, you've got that youngster of Flamesy of 17. Yeah, we've got a 17-year-old as well of our own. Oboe, another such a massive round to go his way. 25 kills. You don't even really see him on the AWP, but he still connects.
Unreal. Unreal from him. Just look at the numbers on that T side, and you can see how much of an impact Oboe has had. In the same round as well, we're talking about Flamesy being the impact player for Endpoint. Evil Geniuses may look to surpass them, usurp them here on Inferno. The AWP set in for Cirque, of course. There is no AWP on the CT side, meanwhile. And obviously, Oboe being a pickup here for this EG side has definitely proved to be a very capable one in terms of momentum, in terms of potential. Mighty Max, though, to try and take that potential out of Server. He's got the kill on Obo. Damage done with the HEs and the spray through on Stanislaw. A follow-up HE from Robin will take him down as well. So 5 versus 3 gained here by Endpoint.
You've got to be honest and say the best advantage I think Endpoint have been able to gain in the second half has been the nade damage. They've constantly been chucking those HEs and incendiaries down for Banana and just been tanking onto the EG side. It's now a position where there's only 3 players left. Is anyone going to hard check this long position? There could be a bit of a crossfire, a bit of a bait switch from the CTs. No one's checking it. Crucial gets one. The trade comes back at least for Mighty Max to try and hold off and fall back in towards the side.
I don't think anyone's checking that cubby corner as well, so Crucial could have held on and caught Breeze off guard. Mighty Max, Cirque dropping in. Oh, Surreal has no idea if he gets Max as well! Oh my god, Cirque! Obo, eat your heart out, mate. There's another AWPer on your team. 2 versus 2. And the retake for Endpoint is on. To think that they had a 2-man advantage a moment ago, but one unchecked position is going to dismantle the defensive. Only 1 kit on Flamesy now.
Boiler wrap.
And back, yeah, this is over. Breezy is going to line him up, spray him down, take the round. Nice and easy for Evil Geniuses. What a play from Zerg.
He's had a quiet one. He's had a quiet one on Inferno, but that wasn't quiet at all, Jay. My goodness. Jumped down from the apartments, reading the player out from mini pit. This shot, though, so damn quick onto Mighty Max on the side, and the way in which more util goes down to that short position. Breezy gets in behind them for the wrap-in boiler. Both players get caught off from Porch, and EG have got the rounds advantage. They've got the lead back in their favor, and now there's an eco for Endpoint.
Yeah, half-bought Deagles and Kevlar in on a couple of players. Nades up a standard, doing damage to Obo at least. He has tanked a lot of those HEs on the Banana presence. Breezy going to force very far forward here. Nades up, he still gets that kill on Robin, and now looks for Flamesy as the last man left on the be defensive. Obo's going to get that kill, and the round is pretty much done from here. Crucial caught off a Speedway. Look at how far they extend, and look at how much damage has been done to the T side. Despite that, they've still not lost a kill, and they won't lose this round.
Yeah, Endpoint just trying to see if they can find a couple of these exit kills, right? Try and get in from behind that Banana position. Hope to try and see a bit of a lurker. I mean, even Cirque's taking a pretty long-range duel down from Banana with that orb.
Lovely.
And the one thing you don't want to do if you're Endpoint is get Cirque fired up. Yeah, it's 12 kills so far in this entire map, but these last few rounds, he has been hitting some absolute bangers. And for Evil Geniuses, they're getting closer and closer to 16. I'm getting worried here for Endpoint. Their map pick of Inferno, they've lost both pistols. Both starts in both respected halves have not been great for them.
Yeah, pistol conversions won on both ends here for the Evil Geniuses side, so... Endpoint have lost a lot of momentum in the early parts of these roundups, and this might end up turning against their favor at this stage. 12 to the board of EG. Buy is coming through for Endpoint at least, so there's going to be that. M4's in, again, the orb in on Crucial. And they're usually happy with the full set of AKs across the entire T-side board.
EG, they know the kind of position that they can put themselves in. They win this round, you're potentially looking at a 14-10 scoreline. Endpoint putting in some early nades, want to get Mighty Max super aggressive down from Banana, but it's not even a contest. EG don't want to focus it, instead out from brackets, and Crucial finds that first pick with the orb.
Good kill. Good start out. Flamesy backing up Mighty Max, putting nades on, spraying through the Stanislaw's position again. More nades land pretty decent. Not quite as good as the previous rounds from Endpoint, though. That opening kill without much damage being turned away from Max. Oh, they've gone by past him. He swings back on the second man. His Flames are going to peek forward. He will, but he'll also back off them when the damage has been done. Can't line him up after the fact and drop that bomb by the CT side. Endpoint capitalizing on another great mistake being made by Evil Geniuses. Tarek will get the trade for 7 points of health. The orb's ready to shut him down. That's exactly what Crucial will do.
Jeez, what a hold. And for Endpoint, it all comes down to that distraction. First of all, no one checks Max out from the logs position. And once that position gets evaded, it allows Flamesy to start reaggressing up towards Banana. He has a real tight angle from the car position, spraying down, holding down Mouse 1, getting a big connection with kills. And are we seeing a P90 upgrade here from Obo? What do you reckon about this one?
Memes. That's what I reckon.
I think death.
He's going to charge straight up Banana as well. Like, he is going super quick about this. Molotovs and nades coming through will drive the CTs away. Breeze are going to take the majority of the HE damage, but finally one does land towards Obo with counter flashes in. He's not going to get his chance to face forward. Instead, Crucial will catch off the first kill in from the mid control. I think he peeked out of brackets, hunting for one player out the second mid control, and now Flamesy forced forward into Banana. It's going to see nothing, so he falls back.
It could be misdirection because the quick X is coming in and Obo's trying to hunt down with the P90. Can't even get out of the gate. The re-smoke comes through from the CT side and look at the amount of players they're rotating over. They're rotating pretty much everyone over towards A, and Flamesy's going to be able to get another kill through that smoke. Tarek just pushing forward. Breezy going to try and see if he can bring it back over on the T side, but they're going to need something unthinkable here.
Okay, cross, and that's a start there for Breezy. Not ready for Mac to be so close towards it. AWP is Cirque caught off guard as well. And once again, it comes down to one player for Endpoint to make the difference. 12 all to the board. This has turned out to be quite a map up in the end. Evil Geniuses not allowed to gain their bomb plant either, so they're not going to be allowed a full-blown buy. It might be another eco for the T, so Endpoint could overtake once again.
Yeah, it's looking that way, isn't it? That bomb plant was so damn important for EG, and it just doesn't come through in that 2 versus 4. Endpoint relying on Mighty Max to just be chaotic out towards the barrels position, try and push quite far forward in for coffins. Even Surreal jump spotting out from second mid. He's got a fair bit of info.
These upgrade pistols on the Evil Geniuses side. You can feel the pressure of this round. They were able to win a similar one a few rounds ago when they were 10-9 up on Endpoint, so not quite the worst situation in the world for EG, but obviously looking at this situation, it could be far better for them. Smoke's down at long. They are going to reveal some information, and they are pressing in towards the A play. Flash is coming over into the short presence very quickly, but they back off after taking first face.
Unfortunately, they don't commit with it, and now they've just got no utility. Drive Walk might have to come through out from this long position, and there's another crossfire set. Flash comes out for Flamesy to peek with it, only finds one. Great trade comes back from Cirque, and now the AWP from Crucial's getting blinded, forced back.
Getting wrapped in upon as well as their second player out there, and the flicks do connect, so two standing for Stanislaw and Obo. Bomb on the back of Stan. Where do they go from here? 35 seconds, the clock is running short. Mighty Max now peek into the short control. Drop that bomb in the end, which should secure the round from here for the CT side. Decent effort there, fast play in from Evil Geniuses, and if they were able to overwhelm Crucial, I could see a way into that round, but unfortunately, not to be in this one. Endpoint will not lose the pistols again. And Obo's got to go down and get the money bonus in the end. Surreal will peek him, give him that sweet release. And it'll be 13. Unlucky for some. Good for Endpoint right now because they've just taken the lead.
This has been a game that's been so momentum-sided from both opposition that it's difficult to call how this is going to go. I think the one defining factor is going to have who's got the strongest economy in these late rounds, right? And it seems like for EG, they're probably on the receiving end of it. We know that for them, the loss bonus isn't really there. They've just bought down, get that buy investment into round 26, but they haven't left themselves a lot of money in that reserve at all, so there could be another instant reset on the cards. And a relatively fast play up towards Banana is just trying to see if they can force Endpoint back. The nades haven't quite done the damage as of yet, only a little bit onto Obo.
Like the 66. And eventually goes down to Robin's aggression. Starting these off one and off for Endpoint. If they can maintain this control, maintain this momentum, then they'll be able to sell right in towards 15 perhaps. Money's low for EG, so they have to turn this around. Let's leave that map point to the favor of Endpoint. The first kill unresponded to so far. Not even a lot of damage being done to the CT side.
And for Robin, he could just jump spot out towards the top of Broken Ball. He knows that from here, they can pretty much rotate everyone out towards the A side. Maybe have one player out from Library or from Arch to be that quick rotation forward. But for EG, they are trying to sell a little bit of this utility out from brackets. But the bomb, it's still here towards the bottom of Banana. Maybe trying to show that bomb and force out rotates.
Oh, Flames, he's turned his back away from the arch control. He's going to look back to it now, but they're going to press in two players to this position. If he refaces, this could be a disaster. They found Max in the meantime in the back line of the A site. 4 versus 4 and 40 seconds to the clock. Flames, he peeks, sees one. Cirque takes the trade and now opens up a line for that bomb to make his way directly into the B site. He's going to wrap back in against Robin as well. Utility pouring out by Tarek is going to give him the information, but yeah, they are going to go for that wrap in the end. Robin's going to be the crucial element here.
Time's relatively low. Now, they don't have a lot of util. Robin's got to make a tough decision. Does he want to try and fight or just try and hold off? Great re-smoke up towards that banana position. That's going to buy them some safety and some security to get that bomb plant in the 3 versus 3.
The CTs hold back. Oh, the spray on Stanislaw. He looks for Cirque instead, but 7 seconds to the clock. He could have denied the bomb plant at the worst possible moment. Not to be. Good effort from Robin, but it's going to have to be a 3v3 retake for the CT side. They have the defuse kit on every player in the server right now. Surreal will take that first phase. They've got to deal with the CT cross. There's no smoke up for it. They're going to flash their way in instead. Cirque can start peeking alongside Tariq, who's going to burst through with that Galil. Cirque close to range with the AK. Can he get up the angle? No, Stanislaw gets that kill. Cirque turns around towards Crucial, and Robin with his back turn at too many angles to check in the end. Endpoint lacking in utility on that retake, and it goes back to 13 all again.
Jeez, what a call that is from Stanislaw. You're in a position that they just like leave 2 players in Arch just so slowly. We see Breezy and Cirque just waiting for Flamesy to make a mistake. He swings out wide. They get that one-on-one trade. It still looks like it's going to be a wrap-in from Library out towards A. They bring it over towards B. They smoke off Robin. And for the Swede, he can just try and spam through, hope to catch the bomb planner off. But other than that, that's the only real defensive they've got. Not getting that round together, and we're tied up again at 13-13 now.
And now I guess the sweatiness here between these two sides. Back and forth we have gone for a number of rounds so far. The buys getting increasingly weaker. The damage is being sustained. 2 SMGs for Endpoint here. At least they can still go for an overtime play if they lose this round. And, well, that might not have to be the case. They've done significant damage to Stanislaw and Obo. A fantastic nade coming in at Banana.
Yeah, certainly not the best of buys from Endpoints, but if you're getting advantage in terms of the HP numbers, then that could be your way in. A triple play up towards the B side. They're going to have to start rotating players back, or do they? Robin's unsure. He's hesitating out towards CT, whether he wants to go back over towards the A defenders. And for EG, 50 seconds left on the clock. They've still got a fair bit of util, and they've even got presence up towards the top of Banana.
Nice spray from Flamesy. Stanislaw on 22 HP. They don't know they've done that damage. Flashbang in. Obo and Stan are easy for the taking. Flamesy with 2 and 3, maybe even a quadra against Breezy, but no, running out of ammo, running out of HP, and running out of pressure against his name. He's done a 3-for-1 trade though, and the execution will come through and just get picked apart by the Endpoint players that remain. Mighty Max in the backline in particular gets the kill on the first. Tariq last to fall to Robin on the SMG. 3 AKs for all, and we go 14-13. Endpoint valiantly defending the lead.
EG have got to make a tough decision here, Jade. Do they want to force or not? They have to buy for OT, right? They've got to try and play for that 13-15 deficit. What's the buy looking like? I think they're going in for the safer approach. They're not forcing the issue here. They are buying down quite heavy on some of those players. With 2,400 loss bonus, they've got to get a bomb plant, and they've got to do damage in a round like this.
Yeah, half buy could lead to a pretty decent buy up in the next round, but as you mentioned, it's all going to rest on the idea of them getting a bomb plant here. Crucial boosted up on the broke. We'll look down towards Banana past the smokes. They've got the smokes and flashes still in play here for the T side line. Might be a set piece into the A side. Great incendiary from Mighty Max to waste one of those smokes at the short cross into brackets. They will be playing out of 2 players in the apartment's control. Hop flash out, go for the apps pop. That might be the best play for them, I think.
They've still got presence out towards this long position, though, so maybe trying to see if they can drive the CT's attention away. Surreal only finds one up from the balcony position. Robin catches off the player that's dropped down from Balc, and now 2 players are left here. Stanislaw and Cirque to try and see if they can bring it together against a 2 versus 2. Cirque still doing damage and trying to get this P250 onto Flamesy's not going to happen. Another double coming through from the Israeli, and now with 15 on the board for Endpoint, map point on their map pick.
And the last handful of rounds from Flamesy have been amazing. He's caught up to Obo. 24 frags for him now. And 15-13. Endpoint. They're on for glory right here. And with no bomb plant being gained by EG, it's a Mac 10 and a Galil for this 29th investment. My, what a ton of events we've seen. Endpoint looking so good in the first half, shaky in the first part of the second, and now on to take the map up outright. Crucial, gets the kill. Breezy gonna try force around, sees three players.
What?
That spray to the second man was absolutely glorious, but it's not enough to get the round together. Flamesy holding defense, calling in for backup. Utility, they're ready for Mighty Max. They're gonna make their way in, and they do over on the B defensive. Incendiary is only gonna do damage. It's gonna be a 3v2 retake.
Oh, Mighty Max and Surreal, what can these guys do together? And even for Surreal, it looks like he's just trying to save at this point. They might not want to go for this Endpoint. The money just isn't there. This is a big, tough decision to make. Mighty Max being spammed through, more nade damage coming through onto Cirque.
Good call to get the bomb on him as well. He could have been Stanislaw getting that bomb plant in. That HE would have been enough to take him down. The 2 versus 2 as the trade comes into Banana. Endpoint are going for this. Flashes in to allow peeks. Max has got to stay alive. He's got that kit held out towards CT. Looking in a construction. Cirque's time this well. Stanislaw at the pillar. Nade on towards Dark. Takes no damage. Takes that kill instead. Surreal seen. Spray through on Cirque. Takes a fight back to a 1 versus 1. Needs to get this kill in real quick. He's running out of time. Has he got this though? 10 seconds. He's got a kit. It's fine. It's all good for Surreal. It's 16-13. Endpoint has secured the retake and secured Inferno.
Oh, what a result. What a result coming out for Endpoint. They've done it in style just down to the last margin. 16-13. They take Inferno, and we head to a break.